News now. In light of, recent racial incidents that have surfaced here in South Africa, it seems that many people in society are still caught up in prejudice, while others have been able to look past the outside and find friendships and love. One photographer is examining interracial relationships here in post-apartheid South Africa. And through her work, she's trying to show that we need to look at someone's heart and not their skin color. Oh, that's so difficult. Joining us in studio today is professional photographer Miora Rajaonary. She joins us today to talk about this very difficult subject that South Africa is dealing with, interracial relationships. Yes. Now, in your latest series of work, I See You With My Heart, you decided to specifically focus on race in this instance. Why this topic in particular?
Because I arrived in South Africa 4 years ago. I had a different career path, and then I became a photographer. And I'm married to, I'm a foreigner, and I'm married to a white guy. Mm-hmm. I noticed that people were either surprisingly very positive about our relationship, or very shocked. Yeah. Instead, it was in a very negative way. So I wondered how it was like for South Africans who've been living in South Africa forever, how it was for them to be in this kind of relation. It was very difficult. My parents were in one of those, and it was almost impossible, under apartheid. And it was one of the things that got people to be activists and to fight for that kind of freedom. I See You With My Heart is an interesting take that you've taken on this one. Yes. How do you think South Africans are today? Do they see with their hearts or not yet? I think that South Africans still have a lot of fear in their mind, and don't want to, and still see the others with the preconceived idea that they inherited from the past generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And being an interracial couple in South Africa is still very difficult, isn't it? Is it only one side of the groups that look at you, or does everybody sometimes look at you a little bit funny? It's like, what is wrong with them?
I think it's more one side of the group, but it's definitely everyone. But again, it's not always negative. So, some people are actually coming at us and say, it's good to see people like you here in South Africa. But definitely it's either the group of my husband, so white people, or black people, but never, for example, Chinese people would come at us and see, yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. Now, along with the photographs that you've taken, and we see some of them being flicked up periodically, along with the photographs you've taken, you've also done some interviews with some of the mixed-race couples, and here we see some of the mixed-race couples that you spoke to. I actually know this couple. She used to be, I used to lecture her at the University of Pretoria, but tell me about, what do they say? What do the couples say to you about their experience of being mixed-race couple in South Africa?
It depends, because I try to have a large panel of people in terms of identities and social status. So depending on their background, on their family background, on their educational background, they don't tell me the same stories. For example, people who live in a couple whose both members have lived in four ways forever and have these neighbors forever, don't tell me the same story as a couple with a white woman who was born in Pretoria and a guy who was born in Soweto. It's not the same story at all, because obviously the cultural differences.
The cultural differences are big in the background, and exactly. I suppose the traditions are different.
Yes. And whereas for a couple who lived and grew up in the same neighborhood, they went to the same school. They have the same, I would say, state of mind. Yeah. Their parents have known them for a long time, so they are not as surprised and as shocked, and they are even supportive of this kind of relationships.
Now, through your work, what challenges do they tell you interracial couples still face in South Africa today? But what is the experience in other African countries then?
I think that for a lot of couples that I met, the biggest challenge is that they meet quite strong opposition from their families. So, the personal issues are the most difficult ones to live for them, because it's really hard to be in a relationship and to be happy in a relationship when your own parents do not agree with that. As for other countries in Africa, I'm from Madagascar myself, and I guess it's less intense, but there is always the story of, for example, I'm a black woman with a white guy. There's always the story of this very preconceived idea about, she's black and she's with a white guy. She must be with him for the money. That's it, you know.
Or she thinks she's better than us.
Exactly. Yeah? Not that she's that she's with a white guy, which is a little bit sad, but we deal with it. It's
the fears, I think, that people still have, and a lot of hurt that people are carrying because of, I think, past ideas.
Yes.
What do you think society should do to overcome this problem of being suspicious and fearful?
I think that the cities here are still too segregated. I go to different areas, and they're either black people or white people, but they are not black people and white people. And when there are black people and white people, they don't sit at the same table, or they don't speak to each other. So I guess it starts from a very young age.
Yeah.
People should go to school together. People should talk together. People should
live together is important.
Yes, exactly. And I think that because the neighborhood are so segregated, it starts from a very young age, and it follows you then for the rest of your life. And then when you reach 30 and you've never and you're a white person and you've never known a black person, it's really difficult to start and wake up one day and tell to yourself, I'm going to make friends with black people now. It's nearly impossible.
It's impossible even to just make friends, period. But your parents are also important, I would think, in how they bring you up and so how you see other people. Miora, it's a fantastic piece of work that you're doing. I really like it. I really like it. I really think it's something that South Africa needs, and something that South Africa needs to confront, is that more and more interracial couples are out there, and more people are prepared to build families like that. And it's a wonderful thing for a country like South Africa.
It is.